Here's the next story in The Little Yellow Digger. It's The Little Yellow Digger and the Bones. It started to rain on the Monday. It rained on the Tuesday as well. It bucketed down on the Wednesday, and rivers were starting to swell. There was thunder and lightning on Thursday. Bridges and roads swept away. By Friday, the hillsides had crumbled and traffic was held up all day. Where bushes and boulders had tumbled, diggers were needed to clear them away. There were diggers of all shapes and sizes, a backhoe with big grapple teeth, a loader with huge scraper buckets, and tough crawler tires underneath. A little yellow digger came last to help where a cave had appeared. The digger was so small it could reach it with caution. A way could be cleared. Whatever might be in sight, it might be like stories of old, where fierce fire-breathing dragons guarded treasure of rubies and gold. The digger was clearing the rubble, boulders and thick sticky mud, when all of a sudden the driver felt a shudder and heard a great thud. He climbed from the cab very quickly. He wondered if they'd struck a stone, but found it was very large rock, and from it was poking a bone. The bone was simply enormous, too big for a horse or a cow. It must have been there many ages, locked in the rock until now. Inside the cave there were fragments of what looked like a very large teeth, and more rocks of bone showing in them as he carefully dug underneath. He rang the museum to help them. They answered the call straight away. 2 people came out to take photos and to measure the bones where they lay. What animal had the bones come from? How long had they been there? They needed more experts to tell them, so they lifted the rocks with great care. The digger had now cleared a pathway, so the van could get through with its load. The rocks had been packed very gently. They must not be harmed on the road. Now that the rain had stopped falling, the river was no more in flood. The diggers had started departing. They'd cleared the debris and mud. Their colours were no longer shiny. The backhoe with big grappled teeth was dirty, and so the loader its crawler tires muddy beneath. The little yellow digger went last, and its driver had stayed to make sure that the cave had been boarded up safely, its rocks and bones all secure. It was not till many months later, after the flood and the rain, a notice appeared in the paper, recalling the story again. News: exciting find by little yellow digger. When a little yellow digger was clearing away mud and rubble after last year's flood, some strange bones were discovered. The very same day came a letter. The driver undid it with care. Inside was a grand invitation to a party to meet with the mayor. The party was at the museum. It must be a special event. People were very excited. Television had even been sent. Indoors the mayor was waiting, near a curtain that fully concealed whatever it was that the digger had found, which was now to be revealed. It was a dinosaur. There were the bones, there were the teeth, there was the head, and written underneath, "This is a theropod, a dinosaur that was a carnivore. It liked its meat, and that's why it had so many teeth. Then everyone thanked the digger for the work he had done in the flood, and praises were heaped on its driver for finding the bone in the mud.